Unit trust. I've used unit trust in a few scenarios. I've actually got three maybe, and I've used them in scenarios where I was in partnership, or not in partnership, but I was in a joint venture with other partners. So in a sense that there was more than one person in a project. So because there are more than one person, a unit trust was the best suited for our scenario, and it works the same way as a family trust. However, instead of in a family trust you've got beneficiaries, in a unit trust you've got unit holders, and unit holding is very similar to shareholding, because every unit will represent like a share in the unit trust. So you've got shareholders up top, director, same scenario as family trust. The corporate trustee is only a corporate trustee. You get an ABN for the unit trust, and then you've got unit holders, and each unit holder represents a share in the unit holder, because in the unit trust, I'm so sorry, when any money or any profit that comes in, that can be distributed as per the shareholding in a unit trust. So in summary, a unit trust is a trust in which the trust property is divided into a number of defined shares called units. The beneficiary is described for the units in much the same way as shareholders in a company to subscribe for shares, as I was saying. In an ordinary unit trust, a beneficiary is entitled to the income and capital of the trust in proportion to the number of units held, and there's a unit holders agreement that spells out what each unit holder is going to do if someone has to exit. What is the scenario then? What are other going to do? Like for example, the unit trust agreement that we have among the unit holders spells out that if somebody wanted to liquidate their shares, first off, our first option would be the other unit holders have the first right of refusal on that. So these are the kind of things or arrangements that we put in a unit holders agreement, so that when we are in a project, there are no gray areas. If somebody wanted to sell their share because their financial situation changes, other unit holders are in no obligation to actually buy their shares, and if they can't find somebody else to buy the shares, they can't actually sell them. Because if you've got a partner in a trust, and their financial situation changes dramatically, and they want to pull out from the project, they can jeopardize the project for other unit holders. So these are the things that actually these are the things that we put in our unit holders agreement. So make sure, if your accountant advises you to get a unit trust set up, and you are going into a joint venture with other people in the project, make sure you all have the same understanding, and ask your accountant, whoever. There are other companies that specialize in setting up trusts, to create a unit holders agreement among all the unit holders. Another thing that you got to remember is that once you've purchased a property in a unit trust, it's an asset rich unit trust. That means it holds an asset. And if the value of that asset is greater than 1 million in Victoria, for sure, I know that, and someone was to transfer their units into somebody else's name or in a different entity, they will attract stamp duty if the value of the property is greater than 1 million. There's a very good website which talks about unit trust, unit that gives you information about unit trusts, and it's a PDF that you can download off the net, so you can have a look at this. I haven't included it, but if you are interested, you can find out how the trust works and what the trustee has to do. And obviously you would need to discuss that with your accountant before you actually go ahead and form a unit trust. So if you are in a development you will have a corporate trustee, a unit trust, and all the unit holder will sit holding the units, and that's the vehicle you use to develop townhouses or do any other kind of development within the unit trust. So basically, if there are more than one stakeholder in the project, we have used, for example, in my case, there were 5 different unit holders that we have in a trust, and they all put in different amount of capital in the project, and that's what defines their share in the project.